Amanda, tell me about your own situation. Have you been homeless for long?
I've been homeless now for the last couple of years. I'm a recovering heroin addict, Neil. I went to treatment and things like that. I think as our government have an awful lot to answer for the homelessness.
Yeah,
you know,
why?
Because for the simple reason, they look at us, they judge us through our addictions and things like that. You know, how can I put this now? Like if we're under the influence and things like that, the Simons, they will not leave us in. They'll leave us on the street, no matter what kind of weather it is. You know, all we're looking for, Neil, is somewhere to call home, somewhere that's safe. You know, safe haven and food. That's all we need.
You know, Simon are going to build something like 70 or 80 self-contained units. Are you aware of those apartments and houses over on the Quays? You know,
we heard rumours about that. All right, but we didn't know if it was true or not.
Yeah, it is. But you need to be clean and out of rehab and everything for it.
Yeah, but even at that, Neil, like the Simon community below on Anderson's Quay, you know what I mean? Like the elderly people, you know, like if they come back under the influence and the alcoholics and stuff like that, if they're too much after having too much drink, they're left out on the road for the night.
I know.
You know,
and where do you sleep at night, Amanda? For the last, Seamus was telling me you're homeless 10 years.
I actually eventually got into a B&B down in the Acton Lodge, down the Western Road. Now, it's the homeless hap that's paying that for me at the moment, you know. But with the homeless hap, Neil, there's no one taking it.
Yeah.
There's no one accepting it. No landlords are accepting it or anything like that, you know. Like going back last year, I remember I viewed a place in Blackpool and he wanted 3,600 up front off me for that. You know, where am I going to get that kind of money?
Why was it so high though? I mean, was that a few months rent in advance or something?
It was only a one-bedroom apartment and it was €1,800 a month and he wanted 1,800 up front. Now, where are we meant to get that kind of money, you know? Like, we're not... Like, we're being judged, you know what I mean? And we're at the lower class.
And was there a time in your life where you had a roof over your head, your own home?
Oh, I had two homes over my head. And the last 14, 15 years, everything has gone downhill with me due to homelessness.
And what happened? I mean, talk to me about the slippery slope to heroin.
It was just got to do with my childhood growing up, you know, a past, put it that way. And it just got too out of hand. And I just went down the wrong road. I hung around with the wrong people, you know. Now, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it, you know, that kind of way. But when I seen other people doing it, it was like euphoria to me. You know, when I done it, it was euphoria to me because it took away my problems. You know, not for a week or anything, just for the couple of hours that I was taking it. It took away my problems. I didn't have to worry about nothing, you know. But still, when that was gone, there was no one there to help us. You know, we were being judged by that then. Like, an addiction in some people, like on the streets, it's only addiction that we can look at. It's what gets us through, you know. We need help. We're screaming for help out there.
And what strikes me as very worrying is the amount of deaths in the space of a couple of months now. Is it like maybe 6 deaths?
There are 6 deaths in the last 5 weeks, Neil, and there are 6 people that I know very, very well.
6 friends of yours?
6 friends of mine, yeah.
And I don't want to drill into their own specific circumstances, but would they all have been deaths due to overdosing or deaths by misadventure?
No, it's suicide and because no one's there to help or crying out for help, trying to get homes and things like that. This lockdown is killing our mental health, you know, because we can't go nowhere, we can't go and meet people, we can't talk to people, we can't go to our key workers. You know.
But how did you manage to get clean, in fairness to you? How did you get into rehab?
I went to treatment in the end, Neil. I had to because I went to my family and my family said, like, I don't want to be burying you before. My mother and father said they don't want to be burying me before they pass, you know, that kind of a way. Like, no one wants to see their child pass, like, you know. And
how difficult was that? How difficult was it to come off and detox from heroin?
Very, 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 very hard, Neil. Very hard. And it's still hard today. Like, and I went into treatment on the 9th of November, Neil, and I still find it very, very hard.
And
today.
Did you have to pay for that?
The 2 weeks in detox is €2,000, and then after that, then your medical card will cover it after that. Then.
But did you have to find and pony up $2,000?
Oh, my mother and father had to do it. Yeah.
You know, for homeless people who are in addiction, it's hard enough to get a rehab place without having to pay for it as well.
The welfare, they won't pay us because we have no address.
If you don't have a home address, you can't get welfare assistance.
We can't get welfare.
You can't use Simon or a B&B as an address, no?
We have to be actually full-time in the facility in the Simons before we can use their address. Have a full-time bed and everything else. If we're on the street and we're getting no welfare.
And, that was November when you went in and came out clean. Mm-hmm. How difficult is it to stay clean?
I won't lie to you, Neil, I have relapsed. Yep.
I know.
Yeah, I have relapsed.
Because you just felt so low.
The last 2 weeks now have been very hard for me again because I'm trying again the last 2 weeks to get clean again. I was clean for 5 months. I relapsed.
I know you were. And is it made more difficult because of the company you keep?
Oh, yeah. Because everywhere you go, it's like walking into a sweet shop, Neil, and asking for a penny jelly. It's there.
It's easy to get heroin now.
It's so easy.
How do you fund it? How do you pay for it?
Well, Neil, I did turn to shoplifting, I won't lie.
And would you go into different shops to get big money items, or how does that work?
No, it was mainly all stupid items like makeup and stuff like that.
Did you get caught by the guards for shoplifting?
Oh, I did, yeah. It was for food, I actually went to robbing food because I was so hungry.
And do you use the homeless help at night? Do you use all of the different volunteer services?
I use it. If we hadn't got those services on the streets every Monday to Sunday night, we don't know where the homeless would be today.
And can you stay in the guest house long term?
Yeah, at the moment I'm there now the last 2 months. So far so good. I'm there. Like, it's the homeless hap is paying for a place.
And do you have to be out during the day then?
Yeah.
I know. And when you're out by day, then do you stay with the one group? Do you all stay together? And where do you go? Where do you go?
We just hang around down by the boardwalk by the Clarion Hotel, Neil, and we walk the streets all day till 11 o'clock at night.
I know. And winter time's got to be the hardest.
Yeah, back in January, Neil, I was out in the very cold. I had to sleep out in the frost and the snow and everything else before they even thought of giving me a bed.
And yet we see all of these derelict buildings that are empty.
Yeah, as I said, Seamus this morning, the derelict buildings that are around the place, they're all empty. They're not doing nothing. We're screaming to our government to open up places, give us the bare walls. We'll do it up. Rome wasn't built in a day, We can sort it out ourselves. If they just gave us a roof over our heads, that's all we want. All we want is somewhere to be called a safe haven. It's all our homes that are dying on the streets. And they're very, very young.
Actually, that's very true. I have noticed in recent years that those that are homeless are struggling with addictions. They've got very young. Do you ever have a conversation with them why they've got into so much addiction issues at such a young age? Do you chat with them?
Oh, we do. We talk. We talk. We all, the homeless people, trust everyone. All the homeless group, we all trust each other, But at that, some trust can't be there because there's some homeless people that would come and rob you. Do you know that kind of way, just to get a living? Do you know that kind of a thing?
Yeah. You're always on alert.
It's totally hectic out there. It's total mayhem, and as I said, it's all the homelessness.
I was passing a group on Mary Elms Bridge some time ago. I'm not mentioning any names or describing any, but there was a girl who clearly had addiction issues, and she was hysterical crying, and she was telling her friends about the beautiful flowers in her mother's garden. I thought it was so sad.
Yeah.
And where would you like to see yourself in the coming months, or say in 12 months' time? Describe what life would be like if it were ideal for you.
Oh, ideal. I wouldn't know what normal would be now, Neil, to be quite honest. I wouldn't know how to put that into words because this is the way I've been living for the last 13 years, 14 years. I've been fighting this for the last 14 years. So if normal came my way, I wouldn't know what it is. I wouldn't know how to describe it to you. I'd be ecstatic, don't get me wrong, but at the moment I don't know how to describe it because I'm not happy where I am at the moment.
Well, you're a grandmother on the streets of Cork.
I am, of course, yeah.
And what do you do then in the guest house? Do you have access to a shower? What do you do for clean clothes and things?
The homeless runs, Neil. The homeless runs. We get clothes off the homeless runs. That's the only way of getting our clothes clean, to be quite honest.
Do you think it's pointless giving out warnings anymore about not starting to take heroin, or do you think it's important for stories like yours to be shared?
Awareness should be, it should be a lot more out there. There should be a lot more awareness out there. A lot more. There should be a lot more groups out there. There should be a centre for us to go to, You know, if we're feeling down, if we feel like we're going to use and we don't want to use, there should be a centre there that we could just walk in and talk to someone, and that person could talk us out of it. It's nice to have someone to talk to, but we are judged, Neil. Do you know what I mean? We're judged because of our addiction.
There is talk of a centre, isn't there? There has been for the last few years.
There has been, but there's nothing happening.
And are you on methadone as a treatment?
I went down to treatment on methadone, but I'm off the methadone now and all, and I'm doing well at the moment. Last 2 weeks, as I said, I was off it for 5 months, and then I relapsed because I found myself in that deep black hole again. I couldn't pull myself out of it. And the last 2 weeks I've been trying to get clean again, but it's very, very hard.
And the deaths on our street in the past 5 weeks, you say 6 people.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to delve into any individual one of them, the misfortunes, but do their families then come and take them away and bury them in a family grave? Is that what happens? They mourn them, the families?
Some of them would have their families come and take them, but other people don't.
And what? Do you know what happens?
We would be lost without Katrina Toomey down in Penny Dinners, because anyone that had no family, Katrina would bury them, you know. She's brilliant. She's brilliant, to be quite honest.
So Penny Dinners buries those that have no family to take them. Oh
yeah, and Katrina would sort that out. She'd do everything, you know. She's very good, and the homeless run Street Angels.
Do you think enough is being done with regards to the dealers and the people that are supplying the heroin?
Well, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. It's not exactly the dealer's fault either. Do you know, that kind of a way, you know?
But what's your relationship?
It's all got to do with money at the end of the day. It's all about money.
But what's your relationship with the Gardaí then? Is it good?
My relationship with the Gardaí?
No, just general. Well, do you get hassled all the time?
Oh, I get stopped all the time. I get told to move on from where I'm sitting down. We can't be nowhere hanging around, even though we've nowhere else to go but to hang around. We're constantly being moved from where we are, you know. And
do you seem as if you're invisible to the public?
Oh, very invisible. I feel like I don't exist.
But yet you were born and reared in Cork.
Yep, all my life, yeah.
And you never thought as a young person that this was the way it was going to go?
No. If I had my time over again, I would change it all, and that's no word of a lie. Going back last year, I was gone down to a 6 stone I lost, and I was always about 15 stone before my addiction. And I went down to a very, very slim 6 stone bag of bones and everything else. I was fading away, Neil, to be quite honest.
And there's no option for you just to go home now, no?
No, because I'm not allowed.
So there isn't an option to go home at this point in time. But with HAP, it would be a wonderful thing if a landlord would take you and so that you can try and reboot your life.
Yeah, we have homeless HAP, Neil, right? But the thing, there's 2 different HAPs, right? There's the ornery HAP and the homeless HAP. In the ornery HAP, you don't get a deposit and you don't get your month's rent up front, right? Homeless HAP, they pay your deposit and your month's rent up front, but the landlords are not accepting homeless HAP.
But if, say, for instance, there was one listening right now, you would be able to pay a deposit and the first month and then try and make...
I have it and all. I have homeless HAP and all. All I have to do is find a home, and the homeless HAP will pay my deposit and pay my month's rent up front for me, and then pay it every month. Okay.
Well, look, chin up, Amanda. Let's see if anything comes from this conversation. If it does, I'll be back to you. But thank you for being so honest and so open. Thanks for chatting.
No problem, Neil. Okay, thank you, and I'll talk to you again.
You bet.
Thank
you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Neil Prendeville, the voice of Cork. Weekdays 9 to 12. Cork's Red FM. Red FM. Red FM.